Oh, we have to stretch first. Today we're gonna talk all about this little meatloaf right here. Her story starts way before I ever met her. In 2020, Mochi was 5 years old and she was living in Texas. She had already had at least one litter of puppies and was somewhat in rough shape. At the very least, she had a non-life-threatening head wound. That's when she was picked up by a shelter. She was decidedly not given back to her previous owners. Mochi's paperwork from the shelter said stray and seized custody. To me, that means that her owners either didn't want her back or were not permitted to have her back. I assumed it was the former because after living in Texas for a little while, I got to know and understand that dog dumping is unfortunately very common. This is all speculation, of course. I do a lot of speculation with her history just because it's hard not to. If you have any deeper understanding about how shelters work and that type of terminology, I would love to understand more. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. She was in that shelter in Texas for approximately 3 months when she was transferred to a humane society in Colorado. I am not hip on the ongoings of shelters, so I don't know what purpose she was transferred for, but I'm very glad that she was. Very spontaneously, my partner and I decided to go window shopping for dogs, just for the fun of it. Mochi was at a very small shelter. There was maybe half a dozen other dogs there, and her and my partner instantly clicked. We were not able to meet with her that day because that's sort of why I wanted to do it, was to, love on some pups. So the next day that they were open for visits, we went in and we hung out with Mochi, and it was kind of a done deal. I'm sure you've heard that a million times from people who've rescued in the past where you can't say no. There's this thing in the back of your head that's like, what if I leave her here and this is just the rest of her life, And I sort of had that feeling with Mochi because of her age and because of her breed. Her paperwork says that she's a pit mix. We've never had her DNA tested, but I think she looks the most like an American Staffordshire Terrier. So she came to me with 3 really noticeable scars. One on her chest, one across the top of her head, and one around her toe. So in October of 2020, I adopted Mochi. The first dog I ever did the paperwork for and got the vaccines for and got the license for and all that stuff. She turned 6 that December. Then we took our Trans-Canada road trip together. I do have a couple funny stories and anecdotes, more than a couple, about her, just because she's a big doofus. If you would like to hear them, let me know. Leave a comment. I thought she would hate sitting on my lap like this because we're in kind of an uncomfortable chair, but she could not be happier because this is a window she doesn't get to look out very often. So now she has a very good vantage point. If this was not enough for you and you want to watch another whole video just about Mochi, you can click this video right here. Thank you for hanging out with us, and we look forward to seeing you next time.